and that is Mick's Movie Picks. So last week was 1991 was the winner, and I picked New Jack City, personal favorite of mine. And this week's is from 1952. That's right. You voted on 1952, and I'm going to give you a movie from it. And actually, it kind of ties in well. So I did last week's numbers were 1952, 1927, 1987, and 2012. As you guys know, I give you 4 years. I put them up on our Facebook page, on our Twitter, on our Instagram. You go vote. You vote on the year in the comments, and then whatever gets the most amount of votes will win, and I will pick a movie from that and recommend it to you. Again, last year's winner, 1952. So I went with Kansas City Confidential. That's right. I love this film noir. It stars John Payne. A very young Lee Van Cleef is in it. And it's a movie that really kind of throws you for a loop in a lot of ways because it's completely different from things that were happening at the time. We were getting a lot of good stuff like DOA. The Lost Weekend was in the 40s and tons of stuff. But this is a movie where a gentleman who just got out of prison, he had a career life of crime. He's out of prison. He wants to go straight. He does not want to go back to jail. He's just in it to do the right thing and take care of business. And that's it. He just wants to be left alone. His name is Joe. And he's played by John Payne. And then he gets like kind of murky waters and in with some bad guys. And he gets framed for stealing $1 million. He got knocked out and framed for it. All the police thought it was the ex-con who did it, and he was part of this whole gang. So his whole thing throughout this movie is to go and try and find them and create this whole plot to try and get the money back so he can prove that he had nothing to do with it. It is one that I found. It was part of I think a buddy of mine and I found it on a film noir DVD box set that was like $5 whether it was Walmart or Walgreens or something. Man, we found that movie, and that movie was worth the $5 alone. Now, everything was great in it, but Kansas City Confidential was like a B film noir movie that came out in the 1950s, 1952 to be exact, and I thought it would be a great one. So if you really want a good recommendation for a really good film noir movie with fun acting, it's a B-style movie, so you're not getting too over the top, and you get into it. And everybody is fantastic acting, and just the whole vibe of it, the art direction, the whole nine, was just really well done. So go check out Kansas City Confidential. Another movie from 1952 I do want to mention because I did my McCarthyism video, and Dan and I talked about it on our interview on that, is 1952 also gave us High Noon. Now, I normally don't give two movies, but I do want to give one here. You should go check out High Noon as well. High Noon was a big time, considered one of the best Westerns of all time, and it was a huge allegory for what was going on in the time with the Hollywood blacklist, the Hollywood 10, not being allowed to work, being kind of stuck out on their own. Nobody would help them. And that's what the whole theme of this movie was. A sheriff in a small town has a bunch of bad guys coming to gun him down in a draw, and the entire town just completely abandons him. It's a well-told story with Gary Cooper and Grace Kelly right out there in the front and starring in the movie. I think you'd really enjoy that too. But I'd love to hear what you think about Kansas City Confidential or checking out High Noon. Let me know in the comments. These are both from 1952. Or you can head over to our Discord. You can head over to our Facebook group. You can head over to our Discord and our Facebook group, the Snob Nation groups, and talk to us there. Let's have a good time and follow us on social media. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to Sturdy, my guest, for coming on. Go check out his stuff. Everything's linked below. Please rate and review us if you're listening to us somewhere. Make sure to follow us. Follow us and like us here on YouTube. That goes a long way and really helps us quite a bit. And before we get going, I would like to